Hey guys, so I am here to talk about Aria starting preschool. I actually did this video about a week ago, and as I was editing the video, I realized I left out so much that I wanted to talk about. Plus, now that she has already started preschool, because that video was done before she started preschool, so now that she has already started, I can talk about how I was feeling before and now how I feel after her starting preschool. So I apologize that I'm getting this video up later than you guys thought. I just wanted to just do this video all over again and just talk about everything. I'm going to talk about how I am feeling about Aria starting preschool, because first of all, Aria is 3.5 years old and she is starting preschool. Like, that alone is just mind-boggling to me. I look back at the 3.5 years that have gone by and I am just amazed at how much she has grown and how much I have grown as well. So it's definitely a very exciting chapter, and just kind of talk about her preschool in general, like everything they offer and my thoughts and just a whole array of different things about Aria starting preschool. All right, so first getting into the whole searching for a preschool, I looked at so many different preschools, and I definitely wanted to find one that was cost effective, that we could put into our budget, as well as a decent school. Like, I didn't want to put her in a dump of a preschool and hardly be paying anything. I definitely want to feel comfortable with what I'm paying and what the preschool offers as well, if that makes sense. I kind of wanted it to balance out. So I definitely looked at all my options and looked at different preschools. And first of all, a lot of people have been asking how she's studying preschool at 3 years old. I don't know how it is for other states, but here in North Carolina, they offer something called pre-K 3, or they have programs for 3-year-olds, and even I've actually looked at ones that offer from infancy to 4 years old before kindergarten. So I think it just depends on your state, but here in North Carolina they do have pre-K 3 programs, and Aria is actually in a class of 3 and 4-year-olds, so she is in that preschool stage or preschool stage. But yeah, going back to what I was saying, I really like the preschool that Aria is going to now, because first, it's not breaking the bank, and second, they offer so many different amazing things, which I absolutely love. First off, they offer breakfast, a morning snack, a lunch, and afternoon snack, I believe. Which actually, come to find out, a lot of preschools don't offer lunch, so I was really surprised by that. I'm actually trying to get her to school earlier so she can have breakfast, because if I'm going to be paying for preschool, I'd rather her have breakfast as well. So that's definitely one thing. Not that food is like the most important thing, but it's definitely one of those factors. They offer organic foods, whole grain, wholesome foods, which I really like, and they have just their schedule alone of everything they offer. Actually, I have a paper, and I'll just kind of, hold on, let me go get it. They actually gave me a paper with their daily schedule. So one of the things includes gymnastics. They have somebody that comes in and does gymnastics, which is really cool. Also, they have someone that comes in and teaches Spanish as well. So I really like that, because even though we do live in America, I feel like it's really important to learn at least some Spanish. I personally, I'm kind of getting off on a tangent. I took a Latin class and I took 3 years of Spanish. I had a lot of trouble with Spanish, but I think, learning the basics, even at a young age, learning a different language is very important. So to kind of give you guys an example of their schedule, they have free choice activities. They have outside activities where they do a lot of play, gross motor skills and activities. They also have a smart board session. So there are just a lot of things that they are doing and constantly doing throughout the day that I really like, like the regular preschool and kind of kindergarten thing. That was definitely one of the more important things when picking a preschool for Aria, is that I definitely wanted her to be doing a lot of activities. I wanted her to be learning and to be around other kids and get that interaction. I think that is very important. And she is only going part-time, mainly because since I'm not working, I'm a stay-at-home mom. There's no really need for her to go full-time, just enough for her to play with other kids, do lots of activities, get that interaction, and she'll be more than ready for preschool. All right, so now getting into more how Ian and I felt about Aria starting preschool and how Aria felt. We definitely talked to her beforehand about starting school, probably about a month before she started, like her first day of preschool. We talked about her going to preschool and playing with friends and doing all different kind of activities, and know, being open and honest with her, you know, mommy and daddy aren't going to be with you all day. You know, you're not going to see mommy and Nolan all day like you used to. Even though I know that kind of sounds harsh, but I definitely wanted to be honest and open with her so she knows what to expect. You know, I didn't want to not tell her that instead of her, you know, go to school and then all of a sudden I'm not there. I definitely wanted to tell her that because, you know, it is a big transition for both of us. We are so used to spending our days together all day, every day for the past 3.5 years that was one of the things that scared me the most, that she is always in my sight. I know exactly what's going on with her, you know, putting her, because you're basically putting your child's care and well-being into somebody else's hands for the whole day when you're so used to having your child with you 24/7. Let me just say, I had a lot of anxiety when thinking about that because it just terrified me. You know, it's definitely a new experience for us both. But I think by being open and talking to her continuously about it, it definitely really helped her and got her excited. I think that's what really helped her transition. Not that I thought she would have a problem with it, but just the fact that instead of just throwing her into preschool, I definitely wanted to warm her up to the idea and not like surprise her and shock her on her first day. But her first day of preschool went really well. Ian and I took her, and I think it was a lot harder on us than it was her because, you know, she just sees all the toys and kids, and these two girls came up to her and was like talking to her, so that got her really excited. But when Ian and I left, that's when we were like, this is weird. You know, that whole day I was just like trying to keep myself busy because I knew I would be thinking about it. Even though I kept myself busy, I was still thinking about it all day. And, you know, there's things running through your head like, is she missing me? Is she okay? Is she being a good listener? Is she having fun? Is she scared? Is she happy? Like, all of that was just going through my head. And I actually picked her up a little bit sooner because I was missing her. And plus I didn't want her to stay the whole day anyways on her first day. She did tell me that she did cry for mommy and daddy and Nolan, which I think is normal, but at the same time she didn't want to leave too, which is also a good sign, because if your kid is running to you like terrified and ready to go, I don't know if that's too much of a good sign or not. She, you know, didn't want to leave. She wanted to keep playing, which shows me that she was comfortable and she feels safe there and she was having fun, which I think that is what is so important with school, is just having fun and feeling safe and feeling comfortable and not like dreading going to school. So she really enjoyed it. The second day was a little bit better. She's only gone 2 times already, so it's not like we're like preschool experts or anything like that. She's only gone a couple of days, but it was a little bit better. But at the same time, I was still thinking about her all day, so I know it's going to take a little bit of time for us to get used to it. But so far preschool has been going really good. I think the one thing that she's actually kind of had trouble with is going to the bathroom at school. I think because she's so used to going to the bathroom at home, it's different, and she might be getting carried away with playing. So she did have quite a bit of accidents, which I think is pretty normal because, you know, it is a different kind of environment. So that's one thing that we're working on. And I hear her coming downstairs now. Are you liking preschool? Yeah. You can see yourself now, huh? Wait, you got an eye boogie. What's your favorite part about preschool?
Me.
Me? You?
I learn ABCs.
ABCs? Yeah. You know your ABCs, don't you? Have you met any friends yet? You have? What are their names? Do you remember their names?
Brooklyn.
Another thing is that I really like hearing at the end of the day everything she did. They give us a sheet and let you know like everything that they've done and how they did today and what they ate and what they didn't eat and if they took a nap, which I really like. But yeah, that's everything I wanted to talk about with Aria starting preschool. I was just so nervous and so anxious, and I still kind of am a little bit, you know, just because I am so used to being with her. But at the same time, I'm very excited, and I know she's gonna learn so much and it's really gonna benefit her. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on when your little ones start preschool, or how you're feeling if your little ones are about to start preschool. Also, if you have any questions, please leave them down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.